Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. TBC has arrived, and already the first raid tier is down. So for us retailers, it's kind of time to return to the long wait for 9.1. That means only one thing. It's time to return to the PTR and see what's been happening. Now, as many of you may know, I actually really enjoy Torghast. I have a ton of fun running it with friends. Every Friday night, we jump into twisting corridors. I've already got the mount, yet we still do this. We jump into twisting corridors, everyone else gets filled up with booze, and we just mess about until we either complete it, or until Mr. Booze finally wins and everybody falls off the edges and we run out of lives. And while we're doing these runs, a lot of us we chat about what's going to happen, what's coming in 9.1, various different aspects. And one of the things that always comes up is Torghast. And everybody I speak to is worried about the changes that are coming in 9.1. They like the idea of the new table, the many things. They like the idea of this new point system that we have to gather up. A lot of it they like. The thing that people are worried about is the empowerment. Now, for those of you that don't know, let's rewind this a second. The great beast that hunts us, the Torghast upon our death currently, is soon to be slain by the heroes of the Horde and the Alliance. Therefore, in 9.1, there is no more death counter in Torghast. So Blizzard have decided to jazz it up a little bit, give Torghast a fresh coat of paint. I won't go over all of the changes that have been done, I've spoken about them before. Shameless plug to another video, which I'll put a link down in the description if you want to go check that out. And one of the big changes is this empowered idea, this bar that slowly fills up as you complete tasks. So let's say you're smashing some jars, you're saving trapped souls, you're finding buttons, and of course killing mobs. Do enough of these and eventually you will become empowered. You will fill up your empowered bar and you will gain a nice set of buffs. The problem was, should you slow down or should you need to go back on yourself, should you want to explore and you go down a left-hand turn that leads really to nothing, maybe apart from a few jars after a bit of a walk, then you're going to lose this powerful buff. It basically meant that you had to go fast or go home. You had to blitz it to the end, keep this bar filled, and you couldn't just do what you were meant to do in Torghast, which was explore, have some fun. So with all of this information that came out, my friends were still not convinced. They didn't like the sound of the empowered bar because it was just a kind of faux timer. You may as well just have added a clock. You have this amount of time and that's it. No matter what, you're going to feel the pressure. You're going to see this timer or this bar, and that's going to be your focus. And as I said, it goes against everything that Blizzard said that they wanted Torghast to be. They wanted this roguelike adventure where you could go off, wander. If you go down an alleyway, what's this? It's a rare, or it's nothing. Okay, back we go. But you didn't know until you explored. Well, it appears that Blizzard have taken the same view. That they've actually listened to player feedback. And they've come up with some changes to Torghast. So let's see what the devs have to say for themselves. We want to thank everyone for taking the time to provide feedback to the updates to Torghast. The team has been reading through and iterating the design based on your feedback. A specific change that we've made focuses around the common feedback that the empowered bar creates a feeling of time pressure. That was negatively impacting the playstyle of Torghast. We've addressed this by changing the mechanic, and we'd love to hear your thoughts after trying out these changes. Now, before we go over the 3 changes, let's take a second to pat not only Blizzard on the back, but also ourselves. This is the reason I always say, go and try out PTR. If you have the opportunity, which we all do, it's free, you can go there at any time, jump on there and give it a go. It's the reason it's there. Simply put, by trying these things out before they go live, we can make the game better, and it's far more effective than screaming on Twitter once it's too late. So yeah, huge round of applause, not only for Blizzard for listening, but for the community for speaking up in a constructive manner and not just moaning and screaming and raging. But let's continue. The empowered bar is now more like a special meter than a hot streak or a fire bar, and is fillable by performing actions that earn score and no longer decays over time or with deaths. That's the big bit. This is a huge change. It may not sound it, but it changes the whole feel of Torghast now. Once you have the empowered action burn, you can save it for a massive pull. You know the type where you've got that room where you've got maybe you know, 3 or 4 elites in the very middle of the room, and the rest of the room is just filled to the brim with trash, you can just go ham. Pop your empowered special, run on in, pull them all together, kill them, and this has added bonuses that we will get to in a second. Let's not jump ahead of ourselves. So let's continue. Once you meet a certain threshold of the Empower bar, an extra action button appears that you can use to become empowered. You will remain empowered for the duration based on the amount of the bar that's filled. So what this basically means is that you don't need to pop empowered right away. You don't need to worry that if I don't use this right away, I'm suddenly going to lose all this extra empowerment I'm getting by killing these mobs or breaking these jars. Instead, you'll gain, let's say, I'm just going to throw numbers out here. Let's say you gain your empowered ability at 75% filled. If you use it straight away, you're going to go down from 75 to 0. Once you hit 0, you've lost the empowered buff. So actually what you can do is say, look, there's nothing really around me right now that I need to kill. So I'm going to keep going around, I'm going to smash these jars, I'm going to keep exploring. But I know just over there is that massive pull. It's got the huge owl dude that's going to one-shot me. It's a huge room full of trash. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go and keep smashing these jars. I'm going to fill that bar up till it's like at 98%. That gives me a huge extra amount of the empowered buff. Then as soon as I go into that room, bang, I pop empowered, I pull everything together, and now that bar is going to tick down from 98% and give me a ton of bonuses. Now, speaking of bonuses, there is one more thing here. Empowered provides a number of combat bonuses that can be increased or added to at the box of many things. We've spoken about that before. That's basically the new table that's added. If you remember from Visions, where you had the ability to upgrade different things, one of them that you actually get pretty early on from the box of many things is you don't have to loot anything, which is so nice. It's so good. But not only will your combat efficiency be increased, your actions while empowered contribute a bonus score at the end of your run. And this is what I was saying before about that room with the elites and the ton of trash. You pop your empowered before that, run in and nuke everything, you're going to get a nice big fat score bonus. And that's important because you're going to need 4 stars to be able to move on to the next floor. But you might also want to push for that 5-star run, which means you're going to gain access to the vault and the sweet goodies inside. Now, to me, this is a major win. I'm not going to say a major win for the player base, because this is the player base and Blizzard working together. This is what we want to see more of. It's nice to see Blizzard have said, hey, this is something that we've changed. Give us your feedback, and then we'll make changes based off of that. And it's worked. And I'd rather see these kind of changes in reaction to player feedback than see a Rush 9.1. Because we all want 9.1 to drop as soon as possible. We want the content. We're desperate for it. But I'd rather see them work on something in 9.1, put it out there for us to try. Then we can give a feedback. They can twist it, change it, do whatever they want to it to make it fit the feedback we've given them. So that when 9.1 actually drops, it's good. It's really good. And yeah, it might take a little bit of extra time, but I'm okay with that. And hopefully, it means when it does drop, we don't need to have patches and, oh, whoops, this didn't work the way we wanted to. Okay, we'll work on this. No. Go and work on new things after that. That's what we're hoping for. So if you haven't already, jump on the PTR. It's, as I said before, it's free. You just jump on there. You can copy your live character across. You can test all these things out for yourself. And don't worry. If you're thinking, yeah, but Grim, I don't really want to spoil the story. I don't want to go to Karothi and all that kind of thing. I want to see that on live. You don't need to. Torghast is a current thing. So literally, you can just jump into the moor, go to Torghast like you would normally. You can try all these things out, and you won't need to worry about spoiling the story for yourself. Give it a run, give it a try, and see what you think, and give feedback on this new system. Blizzard are listening. There is no better time to start giving some feedback. Now, last of all, while we are speaking of Torghast, there is one more change which I really like. Sockets are being added to Torghast. Yes. What am I talking about? Whoa, hang on. What sockets? We're currently on live. Should Venari like you enough, she will sell you the realignment apparatus. Now, this would add a socket to an item that currently was without one. This can work on helm, neck, bracers, belts, rings. If you remember from the Race to World First, you saw those guys absolutely smashing the moor over and over and over again, getting tons of Striga. This was why. so they could put all of these sockets on the various items that didn't have them and be as powerful as they could be. Well, now in Season 2, not only are we gaining a new version of this via the Codex faction in Karathi, but also now Torghast using the new currency Soul Cinders. This, by the way, is the same currency that's used for upgrading your Lego above rank 4. So if you want to do it up rank 5, rank 6, you now need these new Soul Cinders, which drop from, I believe, floor 9 and above. Now, these aren't cheap, I will say that. I think from around level 9, you get about 60 cinders, and you're going to need, this is on PTR numbers by the way, 1,000 of these to actually be able to buy one socket. So yeah, they're not cheap, but there is an added bonus to this. The beauty of this is there is no reputation requirement needed to buy these. You just need enough cinders, unlike the Karathi Codex faction one, which needs a tier 6, I think, reputation requirement. So yeah, these are some really, really good changes. I'm loving what I'm seeing at the moment. As I say, jump on PTR, go give all these things a go. Blizzard are listening, there is no better time to be doing it. But that is enough for me. I've been going on long enough. I imagine by the time I've been talking, yet more raid bosses have dropped already in TBC. So, stay safe. Thank you for watching, and I will catch you all in the next video. Have a good one, everybody. Laters.